to yours, welcome. My name's Kat, welcome to this YouTube channel and welcome to Beginner's Course Module B. So we are moving on from Module A, but it's going to be set up in the same way. There'll be 12 classes. I'll be posting each new class every Monday and I'll put the links to those below. And it's really good if you're just starting here to consider going back to Module A, because really each class does lead on from the next and each module leads on from the next in terms of details, alignment, structure, stages of the pose, and integrating those into our mind, body, heart intelligence. And for those of you who are continuing, welcome. Grabbing all of your yoga stuff, hit pause if you need to, and we are going to come and start in Vajrasana today. So Module A was all about starting right in Tadasana at the front of the mat, and today we start in Vajrasana. So here we are, making sure to pull our sit bones back and out to the sides, so that we have a broad inner space in the inner hips, starting to know what is the difference between tightness inside and broadness inside. And then placing the backs of the hands on the thighs, the palms turned open, bringing the elbows back, bringing the front shoulders back, so that we start to have the sensation that our front body, which we love to keep protected normally, is gaining openness and vibrancy. And then gently closing the eyelids over the eyeballs and finding our breath. Long, smooth inhalations and long, smooth exhalations, taking the time to count the breath so that the inhales and the exhales completely match, that they're symmetrical to each other. And now pressing the palms together in front of the sternum chest and imagining that we put something very precious between our palms, very holy, and opening the class together with one more. Inhale. And then gently releasing the hands and opening the eyelids. And we are ready to start. So coming forward to Yoga Mudrasana in Vajrasana. Just the fingertips to the floor, the palms lifted up. Keeping with that smooth and even breath cycle. See if you can walk the fingertips forward, getting more length. And then coming up onto the hands and knees, spreading the fingers widely apart, as widely as you can, lining the knees up with the hands and finding Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Lifting the heels purposefully up high so that we can access more height in the sit bones, peaking the sit bones to the sky, stretching the arms, stretching the legs. And now walking the feet forward and finding Uttanasana, turning our heels out, taking a moment to use our hands to actually manually spread the buttocks apart and lift them up. And then holding onto the elbows and coming into hanging Uttanasana. Feel how your feet are pressing into the earth. Look at them and make sure the inner arches aren't collapsing. Keep lifting the inner arches up, lifting the inner ankles up. And then placing the hands on the mat, re-spreading the fingers and stepping back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the heels up high, lift the toes up high, stretch the arms and stretch the legs. Push the front thighs back to the thigh bone and spread the sit bones apart as you lift them to the sky. And walking the feet forward again, turning the toes in, the heels out, finding our sit bones, lifting them and widening them apart, and then changing the cross of the arms, hanging Uttanasana. Checking in with our feet, making sure the inner ankles are lifted. Checking in with our knees, making sure the knees are being lifted upwards by the quadricep muscles. Spreading the sit bones apart as we gently pull ourselves down through the weight of the elbows. And then bending the knees slightly and slowly, gently rising back up. And coming to stand in Tadasana at the front of our mats. Keep the legs firm, move the tailbone forward, roll those shoulders back. Bring the arms in front, simplified Vrikshasana, interlock the fingers, turn the palms out. And today we're going to start by bending the elbows and bringing the hands to the crown of the head. Now really move the elbows back and press the shoulder blades forward. Feel that new space that's opening. And now from here, press into the feet and push the hands up to the sky as we straighten the arms. Getting that long line that links us from the earth to the sky. Keep the legs firm, keep moving the tailbone forward. Stretching the arms to stretch the waist. And then bending the elbows, bringing the hands back to the crown of the head. Move the elbows back again. And then exhale and releasing. Changing the interlock of the fingers. Turning the palms out, keep the thumbs touching. Find your feet. Bending the elbows, place the backs of the hands on the top of the head. And move the elbows back and press the shoulder blades forward. And then from here, pushing and reaching up to simplified Vrikshasana. Feel your feet connected deeply, roots growing out through the soles of the feet, the heels firm. Move the tailbone forward and re-stretch those arms. Pushing up firmly through the heels of the hands. Eyes bright, wide open. And then bending the elbows, coming back down, moving the elbows back. And exhaling and releasing. Coming to face the long edge of the mat for Viparita Karani. Finding Tadasana, using Tadasana as a place to neutralize, to refine our even breath, smooth inhales and smooth exhalations. Bending the knees, lifting the arms, inhale. And exhale, jump evenly from the left to the right, and then come and check your feet. Turn the toes in, the heels out, lift the inner arches, firm legs. So we're going to the right first. I'm doing a mirror image of you, turning that front foot open and making sure that the heel is lined up with this part of the foot right here. So I'm using this mat that has a line, so you can always remember as you come into your pose. Widening the feet apart, gripping the legs, pushing into the outside edge of that back foot. Inhale and exhale, reaching to the right. So first of all, really reaching, extending as far as you can, as if you want to touch the wall in front of you. And then exhaling and placing the webbing of the hand right where it lands and stretching that left arm to the sky. Find again the smoothness of your breath. Then re-lift the inner arch of the back foot, push into the outside edge of that foot. Squeeze the back inner knee tightly. Grip the front thigh up tightly and push that front buttock bone forward as you turn and twist, stretching the arms apart. And then inhaling up and to the left. So turning the feet, keeping them in that optimal alignment, checking them with our eyes, gripping the legs up, inhale, And exhale, reaching, really stretching forward to reach the wall in front of you. And then coming down, placing the webbing of the hand where it lands and bringing that right arm up to the sky. Find again the smoothness of your breath as much as possible. And then re-lift the inner arch of the back foot and push into the outside edge of the foot. Re-grip the back inner knee and pull the front thigh up in order to push the front buttock bone forward as you turn and open to the sky, stretching the arms apart from the center of the chest. And then inhaling up, turn the feet back in, lift the inner arches and place the hands on the hips. We're going to do Trikonasana a second time, and we're going to slightly turn the front foot open so that we can really explore the action of the inner thigh and the inner knee of the front leg. We're going to bring that action into our Viparita Karani 2 and Viparita Konasana. So re-stretching our arms, turning to the right. And this time I'm going to ask you to turn this right foot all the way open to the right. So it feels a little bit strange, but you'll see why we're doing it. Now put your hands on this front thigh and roll this front thigh open. And you can see that the front thigh really easily follows because the foot has been turned open to help us get that sensation. We want to stay in touch with that the whole time that we're in our next Trikonasana. Inhale. Exhale, reaching to the right, roll that front thigh open, push the front buttock bone forward, don't let it poke out, and come down. Connect with the outside edge of the back foot, squeeze the back inner knee. Now grip this front thigh up and roll the thigh open so that you can push the front buttock forward even more as you turn and twist it open to the sky. And then inhaling up, keep rolling the thigh open, and then exhale and release. Turning to the left. And then turning this left foot open, and using that to help us to roll even more the front thigh so that it rolls around, wraps around, and pushes this front buttock bone forward. Inhale. Exhale, reaching, keep rolling that front thigh open, gripping it, rolling it open, and coming down. Reconnect to the back foot first. Lift the inner arch, push into the outside edge of that foot. Squeeze the back inner knee. And now grip that front thigh up and roll it open to push the front buttock bone forward as we turn more and more to the sky. And then inhaling up, turn the feet back in, lift those inner arches, those inner ankles, and jump the feet together, Tadasana. Viparita 2. Bending the knees, preparing. Remember, when we jump, we want to equally extend our energy out to the left and the right. Inhale, and exhale, jump. Check the feet. Going to the right first, turning the right foot open, making sure we have enough width so that when we bend that front knee, the knee is over the heel and not over the foot. So widen apart. Inhale, stretch the arms. And exhale, begin to make a square with that front leg. And keep rolling this front thigh open like we just did in Supta Padangusthasana. Rolling it open so the inner knee is being directionalized around the front of the knee to the outside edge of the thigh. Lift the inner arch of the back foot, push into the outside edge, grip the back inner knee, stretch the arms, keep rolling this front thigh, and 2, and 1. Inhaling up, and turning to the left-hand side. Take a moment to check your feet, and roll this front thigh open to push the front buttock bone forward. Inhale, and begin to make a square with the front leg, and as you do so, directionalize the inner thigh to the inner knee, round the front of the knee to the outside edge. Check in with your back foot, Lift the inner arch, push into the outside edge of the foot, and squeeze the back inner knee tightly. Keep moving this inner knee around and back. And 2, and 1. Inhaling up, turning the feet back in, and jumping the feet together. Tadasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Roll the shoulders back in case they've closed in again. And coming forward, Viparita Karani. Preparing to jump, and jumping. Check the feet, lift the inner ankles. Going to the right first, having that width. And on this Viparita Karani, we're going to turn the foot open like we did in Trikonasana, so we can really roll this front thigh open and really connect with the action of the inner knee that rolls around. And as this front thigh rolls open, it wraps around the backs of the legs and helps us to push this front buttock bone forward. Inhaling. Exhale, begin to make a square. See how much easier it is. It really facilitates that understanding to turn the foot open. Inhale. And exhaling, fingertips to the floor or a block. Finding stage 1. Keep rolling that front thigh open and pushing the front buttock bone forward. And then turn the top arm and extend the arm over diagonally. This bottom arm is helping to remind that thigh to roll open. Connect with your back foot, lift the inner arch, push into the outside edge of the foot, squeeze the back knee. And now for the next 3 exhales, we're going to turn and twist open with each exhale. Ready? Inhale, exhale, turn, stretch that top arm. Inhale, exhale, turn. One more, inhale, exhale, turn. And then inhaling up. Re-roll this thigh open. And exhale, release. So hopefully you're feeling more sensation as we roll the thigh open to really find the ability to grip that front buttock forward as we come down. So we're going to turn this foot open. Use your hands to get more sensation. Inhale, stretch the arms. And exhale, begin to make a square. Feel the thigh rolling open, the front buttock coming forward. Inhale. And exhale, stage 1. Use the bottom arm to remind that thigh to roll open, the inner knee to roll around the front knee. Turn the top arm. And extend the arm over diagonally, Viparita Karani. Now reconnect with the back foot. Lift the inner arch and push it to the outside edge of the foot. Squeeze the back inner knee tightly. Keep rolling that front thigh open and pushing the front buttock bone forward as we turn and twist. And now 3 exhales to really maximize our opening of the chest to the sky. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. And then inhaling up. Re-roll that front thigh open, grip it. And then turn the foot back in. And jump the feet together. Tadasana. Coming to the front of our mat. Hanging Uttanasana, or reset. Toes in, heels out. Legs firm. Inhale the arms up. Urdhva. Holding onto the elbows. Pull those elbow tips back to open the armpits. And exhaling forward. Drop the head down completely. Check in with your feet. Make sure your toes aren't white. If they're white, there's too much pressure in them. Try to lift them up and just be in the feet. Lift the inner arches, lift the inner ankles. Looking at your knees. Suck the inner knees all the way up to the inner groins. The roots of the thighs firm, the sit bones spreading. And then placing the hands on the mat, spreading the fingers widely and stepping back to Adho Mukha Svanasana with bent knees. The heels are lifted, the knees are bent. Stretch the arms. Relax the head, the brain. And press the shoulder blades into the upper back to pump the chest open, to press the armpits open. And then straighten the legs, keeping the heels lifted, keeping the toes lifted, keeping the shoulder blades pressing into the upper back. And now push the front thighs back, spread the sit bones apart, lift them higher to the sky. And then walking the feet forward, toes in, heels out. Take a moment to re-spread the sit bones and to lift them up. And then changing the cross of the arms, hanging Uttanasana. Check in with your feet. Be on the four wheels of each foot. Lift the inner arches of the feet so they're healthy. Lift the inner ankles all the way up to the inner knees. Then looking at the knees, lift the inner knees all the way up to the inner groins and widen the sit bones apart. And then bending the knees and slowly, gently emerging and bringing the feet together. Tadasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And coming to face the long edge of the mat. Starting from Tadasana, we're coming to Virabhadrasana 1. So bending the knees, lifting the arms up, inhale. And exhale, jump with that vibrancy. Checking the feet, checking the arms. Now turn the palms up to the sky, roll those front shoulders back. And push into the feet to lift the arms up, past the shape of the semicircle, into an ellipse. Stretching up, and my thumbs are crossed like this to really give me traction, to lift up. Move the buttocks forward and re-lift. Going to the right first, we're going to turn the back foot in, turn the front foot open, adjust them so that we can turn completely to face the short edge of the mat. Make your back heel firm and squeeze the back inner knee tightly. Now travel to the inside of your lower trunk and move the tailbone forward and lift with the arms the pubic bone up as if you were dragging it up the front body, through the belly button, through the solar plexus, through the sternum plate, out through the fingertips. Inhale and exhale, begin to bend that front knee, keep the arms lifted, the fingertips stretching up to the sky, keep the tailbone moving forward. Once you feel that you're as deep as you can go, re-roll the back thigh in to really turn the hips and squeeze the back inner knee. And adjust the tailbone again. Move it forward so it rubs the back of the pubic bone. And use the arms to draw the pubic bone up to get that length through the front spine. And 3, and 2, and 1. Let the arms pull you back up. The legs become straight through the arms, lifting up. Turning back through the middle. And to the left-hand side. Keep those arms lifted. I know they get tired. Keep trying to lift them up as we turn, extending your attention, your energy everywhere. Rolling that back thigh in so the hips are really facing the short edge of the mat. Squeezing the back inner knee. Now travel to the tailbone inside. And with an exhale, move it forward. Then use the arms to pull the pubic bone energy up and lengthen the front body. Inhale. And exhale, begin to bend the front leg. Keep rolling the back leg in as you come down. Keep stretching the arms up. Dynamic from the tips of the toes to the tips of the fingers. And when you feel you've reached your maximum capacity, travel back to the tailbone and press it forward so it rubs the back of the pubic bone. And with your inhale, lift the pubic bone up. Lift the belly button up. Expand those front ribs up, stretch the arms. And 3, full vibrancy. And 2. And 1, let the arms pull you back up. Turn back to the middle, re-stretch the arms. Look at your feet, make sure they're turned in, the inner arches are lifted. And then exhale, extend the arms to the side, maximum length. Turn the palms in. And jump the feet together. Tadasana. Count the length of the inhale. Count the length of the exhale, get that even, smooth rhythm again. Okay, simplified Parsva Konasana coming up. So you'll know now from having done module A whether you need blocks or not, and if you do, just grab them and put them on the right hand side of the mat for your hands, and coming back to Tadasana. Bending the knees, preparing to jump, inhale, and exhale, jump. Check the feet. Bring the arms down, cross the thumbs, inhale the arms up with vibrancy, give it your all, every single part of the movement, turning to the right first. Re-stretch the arms, push into the back heel, squeeze the back inner knee, inhale, and exhale, flowing forward with the idea of reaching, of gaining length. Roll the back thigh in, feel the hips turn more, reach for the wall in front, and then exhale and down, fingertips to the floor or to your blocks. Take a moment here to readjust, to look at your back foot, to press the heel down, to look at your back thigh, to roll it in so that really the hips are turning. Stage one, press into the fingertips and try to concave the spine, to press the back ribs in and to move the sternum plate forward. Keep the legs gripped. And then exhaling and walking the hands or the blocks forward so that the arms are stretching as we come down. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Diffuse that breath everywhere. Lift the inner arch of the back foot to let it collapse. Squeeze the back inner knee, press the heel firmly to the ground. Grip that front leg up and walk the hands forward even more. 3 and 2 and 1. Bring the hands back a little bit. Reconnect with your back heel, your back leg. That's where our stability comes from. We're going to use the inhale to come up, crossing the thumbs, inhaling up, and turning back to the front, and bringing the arms down to change the cross of the thumbs. With the inhale, lift up. With the exhale, turning. Make sure that back thigh is rolling in and you're squeezing the back inner knee tightly, pressing into the heel. Inhale. And exhale, reaching forward. Go with the idea of maximum length. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Keeps rolling that back thigh in. And then exhaling down. Taking the blocks if needed. Using this little moment to adjust. To check that your back leg is straight, your inner knee is tight, and your back thigh is rolling in as much as possible. And now, trying to concave the spine. Trying to find how we can get more presence in our back body and start to dig those back ribs in so the sternum is moving forward. Keep gripping that front leg. Don't drop the quadriceps, the roots of the thighs firm. And then exhale, walking the hands or the hands and the blocks forward as we drop our head down. From here you can really see your back foot. Press the heel down. Lift the arch of the foot. Squeeze the back inner knee. Roll the back thigh in and turn the hips more and more. And keep walking the fingertips forward, reaching, lengthening. Now having a smooth and even breath. And then bringing the fingertips back. Preparing to lift with the inhale. First making sure you're really connected to the back leg that our stability comes from. Crossing the thumbs, inhaling up. Reach to the sky. Turn back to the middle. Bringing the arms down and jumping the feet together. Tadasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Viparita Konasana coming up next. So if you need a block, you want to have one block on each side of the mat so that they'll be there waiting for you as you come into the pose. Preparing to jump and jumping, checking, lifting the inner arches, stretching the arms. Okay, going to the right. So we're lifting the left arm up with the inhale, bringing the right hand to the outside edge of that right hip. Exhaling, reaching forward, going with the idea of length. And then coming down, hands to the floor or the block, and moving everything back so that the forearm and the shin are connecting for traction. First stage of the pose is to use that right hand on the right outer hip to draw it back, to pull it back, to bring length to the right waist. Second stage is to use the exhale to roll that right elbow back and to roll the front of that right shoulder back. And from here, stretching the right arm to the sky. Viparita Konasana. Come back into your breath. And through the breath, feel the pose everywhere, starting with the back leg. Roll that back thigh in, squeeze the back inner knee, press the heel down firmly. Now make sure you can feel your forearm and your shin connecting. Press them against each other to turn and twist. 3 exhales where we really turn and twist with each exhale. And 3. And 2, turning and twisting. Press the back ribs in, stretch the arms apart. And 1. Hand back to the front hip. We're going to inhale up. Turning back to face the front. Checking our feet. And jumping the feet together. Savasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Preparing for the other side. So bending the knees. And jumping. Sharp. Bright. Going to the left. We're going to inhale the right arm up. The left hand is on that front outer hip. And as we turn, we pull the outer hip back. And exhaling, reaching forward. Going for that length. And then down. Fingertips to the floor or the block. And moving that back so the forearm and the shin are connecting. First stage of the pose is to use this left hand on the left outer hip to pull it back, bringing length to this waist. Second stage, using the exhale to carve more openness. So rolling the elbow back. And then with the exhale, rolling the front of that shoulder back. And then lifting the arm to the sky. Reconnect with the back foot, the back leg. Make sure the back thigh is rolling in, the back inner knee is squeezed tightly. And now find the traction of your arm with the outer shin and push and turn into that to open up, stretch the arms apart. And 3, and 2, and 1. Hands back to the hip. Connect with your back foot for stability as we inhale out of the pose. Lifting up with your breath, with your inhale. Arms back out. And jumping the feet together. Savasana. Brilliant. So, full Padangusthasana coming up next. But before we go into it, we're going to open our shoulders a little bit using the wall. You don't need to move your mat to the wall. You just need to come and step into it. So our first pose is going to be Gomukasan arms. So the left arm comes behind like this. The right arm lifts up and comes to join behind the back. If you can't reach your hands, put a strap in the hand of the top arm, and then you can join strap behind your back like that. And now we're going to turn into the wall. Tadasana feet. Now this top elbow, try to lift it up and back, up and back. Even breath. releasing, and just gently shake that out. Changing sides, so I'll turn around so you can see. The right arm comes behind now. And then the left arm will lift, taking a strap if needed. Joining the hands as you can behind the back and walking into our walls. Check your feet. And begin the work of trying to move that top elbow up and back with each breath. And then exhale, and releasing, and just roll that out a little bit. Okay, our second shoulder opener to really prepare us for full Viparita Konasana. We're going to invert our hands in Namaskar behind the back. And I know this is hard, and often we start off like this, but with time, with practice, we will get into the resistance of the shoulder blades, the upper back. And this will happen until we can get our palms together and have the sensation that our fingers are going up the back. Coming into our walls, feet in Tadasana. Now rolling those front shoulders back so that the elbows come to the wall as close as possible. And then the edge of the hands on our back are pressing the spine forward so that our chest is opening from the back body. The movement is coming from the back. And then exhale. And releasing. Okay, we are primed now for Viparita Konasana. So coming back to face the long edge of the mat, Tadasana, collarbones long, chest open, deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Bending the knees and jumping. Bring the hands behind you now and re-find the inverted Namaskar. Move the elbows back, move the front shoulders back. Turning it to the right, nice and smoothly, feeling ourselves turn. Make sure to widen your feet apart in length. Roll the back leg in. Now inhale, offer the sternum up to the sky and press the spine forward with the hands to open the sternum from the back body. And then exhale forward, leading with the openness of the sternum. As you come down, make sure to roll that back leg in to really help the hips face forward, to lift the elbows, to grip the front thigh up. Come back to your breath, notice it, regularize it so that it's even, the inhale, the exhale. Keep the back heel firm, the back inner knee squeezed tightly. Inhaling up, steady, smooth. Exhaling, turn. Check your feet, lift the inner arches, elbows back, front shoulders back, and going to the left. Prepare, elbows back, and press the hands forward into the spine to press the chest open from the back body. Inhale, and exhale, flowing forward, leading with the sternum. Keep rolling the back thigh in, helping the hips to really face in the direction that you want. Keep lifting the elbows. Even and smooth breath. Relax the face, relax the jaw. Back heel firm, back inner knee squeezed tightly. Back thigh rolling in. Front thigh gripping up. Elbows back, press the dorsal spine forward with the hands to open the chest. And with the inhale, coming back up. Elbows back, shoulders back. Turn back to the front. And exhale, releasing the hands and jumping the feet together. Savasana. Deep inhalation. Deep exhalation. Viparita Karani. Bending the knees and jump. Keep that vibrancy. Hands to the hips. Make sure your legs are wide enough. Turn the toes and the heels out and push into the outside edges of the feet. Now with your hands behind you, use your thumbs to push the buttocks forward. Move the elbows back, the front shoulders back, and clear more space here. Inhale, offer the sternum up to the sky. And exhale, coming forward, leading with the sternum plate, the elbows back, the shoulders back, gripping the legs up, and fingertips to the floor. Take a moment to adjust, to check. Make sure your knees and thighs are gripping up, and make sure your sit bones are widening behind you and lifting up. Now stage one of the pose, to concave the spine. So press into the fingertips to lift the front body up and to move the sternum plate forward. And at the same time, find a way to dig into the back ribs, to press them in as if you're trying to arch the back. Keep the sit bones spread, keep gripping the legs. And then exhale, walking the hands back until they're coming in line with the heels. Exhaling the head down, the arms start to bend. Check them, make sure they're parallel, that the inner elbows are attracted towards each other. Re-push into the outside edges of the feet. Re-grip the legs up, all the way into the hip sockets. The roots of the femur bones coming up, being pulled up into the hip sockets, and spread the sit bones apart. Count the length of the inhale, count the length of the exhale. Try to even them out without losing the charge, the vitality, the energy. Relax the face completely, the jaw, the tongue. And then keeping the hands where they are, inhale and look up. Grip the legs again. Place the hands on the hips, move the elbows back, the front shoulders back, and coming back up. And heels in, toes in, jumping the feet together, Savasana. Coming back to the front of our mats, the short edge of the mat, for our hanging Uttanasana, our reset. Turn the toes in, the heels out. Lift the arms up with vitality, eyes open bright. Take hold of the elbows. And exhaling forward, hanging Uttanasana. Relax the head, the brain, the neck completely. Re-squeeze the thighs up, re-spread the sit bones apart. Place the hands on the mat, spread the fingers even more widely than before, and step the feet back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, starting with bent knees. So we can really integrate the shoulder blades into the upper back. So stretch the arms and press the shoulder blades in, pump them in a few times. Feel the armpits opening, the chest opening in a new way. And then slowly begin to straighten the legs, keeping an eye on the shoulder blades. The moment you feel they're popping out again, stop, repress them in, and then continue the journey of straightening the legs until the legs are straight, the heels are lifted. See if you can lift your toes up too, so you're really on the balls of the feet. Press the shoulder blades into the upper back, pump them forward a few times. And 3, and 2, and 1. Now this time we're just going to bend the knees and bring the knees to the floor and sit back on the heels. Vajrasana. Okay, let's take our straps, our blankets, and come to our super alignment-based Vajrasana that is working on correcting any distortions we have in the feet. And the feet are so crucial. They're our contact with the earth, and the rest of the body flowers from our feet. So anything that's going a little bit off in the feet is going to affect the entire rest of the body. Okay, so first strap. We put our arms through, And we make sure the strap is right behind the knees, and then tightening up the buckle in the middle. Second strap for the torture one. Now, if your inner feet really hurt, sometimes if we have bunions, this pose is very painful at first. You could slide a little, like a t-shirt or something really light between to take a little bit of the pressure off. And slowly, gently, as we practice, these things are going to start correcting themselves, because ultimately the body will start to trust you as your commitment levels and your regular practice get the body understanding that you really mean business, that you're really shifting things into this state of postural vibrancy that it really craves for, actually. Okay, now we're going to put the blanket into place. So we want the knee to enter the blanket facing us. So that sends a clear message to the backs of the knees. Putting it right in behind the backs of the knees. And then coming to sit in Vajrasana. Widening our sit bones apart for that inner hip broadness. And then placing the backs of the hands on the thighs. Elbows back, front shoulders back. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Reconnect with that evenness that brings us into the parasympathetic nervous system. Padangusthasana in Vajrasana. Stretch the arms forward, interlock the fingers, turn the palms out, keep the tips of the thumbs touching. And today we're bending the elbows and starting from the crown of the head, so that we can really maximize the opening of the upper back by moving the elbows back and pressing the shoulder blades forward. And now stretch and lengthen the arms up to the sky. Try to move the upper arms behind the ears. Make sure you're not overarching the lower back here. So travel to the base of the trunk and move your tailbones forward. And then with the arms, lift the pubic bone up, lift the belly button up, stretch the waist, and 2, and 1. Bending the elbows, coming back down, opening the elbows, and then gently releasing and changing the cross of our fingers. Thumbs connecting, turn the palms out, straighten the arms, and inhale and lift. Check in with your lower spine. Is it overarching like this? Move the tailbone forward. Learn to lift the pubic bone up, which is going to teach us to lift our organs up. And use the arms to get more and more length on the front waists. Push up through the heels of the hands. And 3, and 2, straighten the elbows. And 1, bending the elbows, coming down, move the elbows back, press the shoulder blades forward. And exhale, and releasing. Coming forward to Yoga Mudrasana in Vajrasana. So first placing the hands on the ribs and lifting them up and out to the side. So length and broadness. And then taking that, keep pulling the ribs up as we place ourselves on the thighs. And stretch the arms forward, fingertips to the floor, palms lifting up, and the head down. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation, evening out the breath. Keep checking that the elbows are straight, trying to suck the outer elbow into the elbow, trying to suck the skin of the outer elbow into the elbow to bring more and more firmness to that joint. See if you could walk the fingertips forward. And at the same time, remembering that no line moves just forward, it also moves back. So even as we're walking the fingertips forward, we're also gently directionalizing the buttocks back. So we're elongating both forward and backwards. And then slowly, gently walking the hands back in. Vajrasana. And releasing. Taking our straps off. And our next work is Viparita Karani, core work. So I've got some good news and some bad news. In this course B, we are going to do less of the Viparita Kanasanas, yay, because we were doing those really strongly in module A. And the reason we're doing less of them is because we're adding in some other core poses, which we'll come to, called Paripurna Navasana, and we'll come to those in the next class. So remembering that if your lower back hurts or there's pain, use a blanket until the abdominal muscles get strong enough to really connect to the lower back and press it to the floor. So I'll use a blanket on this cycle to remind you of where it should be placed in case there's a little moment of forgetfulness. It wants to be right underneath the lower back so that as you press the abdomen down, you can feel the lower back pressing it into the blanket. You want to make that connection like an anchor. Okay, bringing the arms up, cross the thumbs and stretch the arms onto the floor behind you. If it's painful for some reason, you have shoulder issues or tightness, to bring the arms back, you can always put a little bolster or some blankets here so you're getting the floor to meet you to where you can go. Always adjusting, and with time, all these little tweaks and pains that we have are going to start to go away. Until then, giving the support needed to help the body feel supported. Okay, bringing the feet off the floor, starting, exhaling to 90 degrees. Press the lower back down firmly and draw the abdominal muscles down to the lower back. And push up through the legs. Look at your knees. Are they really straight, sharp? What about your ankles? And spread all 10 toes. And now bending the knees, making sure your feet are aligned, your knees are aligned. We're going to go to 60 degrees with the exhale. So inhale and exhale, push. Keep the lower back pressing to the floor. Watch for those little areas where it's lifting up and reconnect. Spread all 10 toes. Keep your knees straight. Bending the knees back in. Check that your inner knees are still touching, that everything's still lined up. We're going to the hardest one now, 30. Always pushing out with the exhale. So inhale and exhale. Now to really help the lower back connect to the floor in 30, you want to bolt the outer hips together and squeeze the outer thighs in towards each other as you push out through the feet. And then bending the knees and feet to the floor and relax the arms out to the side. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Relax the face, relax tension. Okay, bringing the arms back up, change the cross of the thumbs and bring the arms back onto the floor behind you, stretching the arms. Now bring the feet off the floor and line the inner feet up. And line the inner knees up. We're going to 30 first. So inhale and exhale. Re-bolt the outer hips together. Re-squeeze the outer thighs in towards each other. And push out through the balls of the feet. Pressing the lower back down to the ground. And then bending the knees in. We're going to exhale to 60 degrees. So inhale and exhale, pushing out to 60 degrees. Visualize those little flames coming out of your feet. Squeeze the knees tightly. Suck the abdominal muscles down to connect the lower back to the earth. And 3 and 2 And one, bending the knees back in. Re-stretch your arms. Inhale. And exhale to 90 degrees. Press the lower back down. Check that your knees are straight. Sharpen those ankles and spread all of the toes. And then bending the knees and release the feet to the floor. Relax the arms, roll the shoulders back. Relax the face, deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And time for a new pose. So we're rolling over to the right hand side and pushing ourselves up, always using the floor to help us come up. And we're going to keep this blanket. We're just going to fold it a slightly different way. So right in half, lengthwise like this, and bring it to the back of the mat. So we're coming to something called Dandasana. So we're sitting on the blanket, and this blanket is not here for comfort, although it is comfortable. We want to use the height and the edge of the blanket to, first of all, move our buttocks back to the side. And you want to do this 2 times to really maximize that opening so you feel that you're really sitting on the inner edge of the sit bones. And make sure that you're not sitting back on the blanket, that you're right on the edge, so the edge of the blanket is helping to pull those sit bones back and out. Heels firm, toes spread. Wrap the muscles around the leg bones. Even though you're on the floor, don't let the legs become passive. Treat it as a standing pose. Now, bring the fingertips onto the floor behind you, facing forward, and bring them close together behind you so that it helps us to really move the elbows back, which of course in turn is helping us to roll those front shoulders back, giving us this length that we're looking for, where the back ribs are pressing in to open the front body from the back body. Smooth and even breaths here, feeling ourselves everywhere, igniting that which needs igniting, and yet softening the face, quietening the brain. Press those front thighs down. Open the chest more and more. And now keep all of the shape we've made in the legs and the trunks. And just bring the arms forward, so don't collapse as you bring the arms forward. Cross the thumbs and inhale and lift the arms up. Keep the heels firm. Keep pressing the front thighs down, spreading the toes. Feel the sit bones still spreading on the blanket. And use the arms to get that length in the waist, the left waist and the right waist, lengthening the chest open, reaching to the sky, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring the arms down, re-find the action of the hands behind, penetrate, open the chest one more time, roll the front shoulders back, press the back body, the back spine, the back ribs forward, press your front thighs down. And with that shape, again, come forward, change the cross of the thumbs, inhale, lift up, press the front thighs down, spread the sit bones, press them down in order to lift up taller, taller, taller. Really stretching the fingertips to the sky, and 2, and 1. Bring the arms back down, end with the imprint, where the chest is open, and exhale and releasing. So this pose is going to lead us into our new core poses that we'll be coming to next class. For now, just keep practicing that particular stage of it so that it's really enmeshed in the cells of the body, really understood with that cellular intelligence. And now it is time for Sarvangasana, and something new in Sarvangasana today, we are going to be introducing the strap around the arms, a crucial part. We haven't done it till now, so we're just getting comfortable with rolling up and down and starting to get our upper back and shoulders open, but today is time for the strap. So first of all, let's set our blankets up. And I can't emphasize how important the blankets are. It's very different if you're just practicing yoga one time and you don't use blankets one time. You can get away with it. But if this is a practice that you hope to keep into your life and you want to make it healthy for your body, not create damage over time, which does happen if a pose is incorrectly done and you repeat that mistake over and over again, you will end up with a problem. Your body will let you know, whoa, 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 not good. So keep the blankets in. Removing the blankets is not a sign that you're getting more advanced. These blankets in Sarvangasana are here to stay. They protect our neck and they support us and they help give us a lift to the sky. So I'm going to use 4 blankets today. And if you know that you have a hard time getting your legs over to Halasana, remember to put a bolster right here. That when you lie down, your back hips will be on that bolster and it'll just give you that little extra push to help lift up. So it would look like this. Okay, now time for the straps. So I just want to warn you, for those of you who have tight shoulders, that this particular strap is sort of a little bit like torture in the beginning. And I say this from a place of having had very tight shoulders. I grew up in a sailboat and I spent most of my childhood swimming, and the swimming actions are all actions that curl the shoulders forward. And so opening that just took a lot of work. And when I started to work with the strap in Savasana, my arms would just go to pins and needles. Don't worry, this is not unhealthy, that will pass. It's a sign that somewhere that's very congested is opening up. And we're only staying there for 1 minute, so we can all get through 1 minute of discomfort, knowing that something great is awaiting us at the end of it. So here's how we set up. First of all, we want to make a loop in our strap that is the width of your inner shoulders. Now, because this is the first time, don't go too small, because it'll be a struggle to get your arms through. Better to have a slightly wider loop and learn how to get the arms in and get comfortable with that. And then over time, we can tighten it up so it's really just the inner shoulders from here to here. Okay, so once you have that loop, place the strap on the side. So if you're right-handed on the right side, if you're left-handed on the left side, your dominant arm, so to speak, so that it's easy to grab when you're upside down. And let's enter our Sarvangasana. So just take 3 fingers now of each hand and make sure that your shoulders are at least 3 fingers away from the edge. Just check that your strap is easy to access. And now let's lift up and bring the feet to the floor behind us. Remembering that if you can't touch the floor with your feet, you should definitely put some blocks back there to have the floor come up to you to make it accessible. The knees don't have to be straight, we're just here to put the strap on. So we're reaching with our hands for the strap and we're finding our loop, holding the loop in both hands, and then we're going to thread our arms through. And the strap wants to end up right above the elbows. And you can see how it's containing the arms so they can't splay, keeping the arms parallel so we can really open the shoulders correctly. Now we're going to interlock our fingers, really stretch our arms, and roll each shoulder back. So to roll the right shoulder back, you have to come onto the left, lift that right shoulder blade up and roll the front of that right shoulder back. And then you do the same with the other side. And once everything feels that it's as open as possible, we're going to release the hands and place the hands on the back. Coming into Sarvangasana. So we bend the legs and we bring the heels to the buttocks. The knees are facing our face. Take a few breaths here. Keeping the inner knees touching, the inner feet touching. Slowly, we're bringing the kneecaps to face the sky, the heels towards the buttock, and our hands are becoming more important now. We can really feel them on the back, helping to press those back ribs in and up. And we can feel how the strap is stopping our elbows from splaying. And now straightening the legs and finding Sarvangasana 1.
First of all, settle into breath. Breath changes with each pose. Breath is also what we come to look at to see our ease or our dis-ease in the pose. So don't worry if your breath cycle is shorter in Sarvangasana. I mean, we are upside down, we are compressing the lungs in different ways, so it's entirely normal. Just make sure to have an even breath cycle where the inhales and the exhales are the same count, the same duration. Keep rolling those front shoulders back and seeing if you can get the hands higher up the back. And then watch your knees and squeeze them straight and push up through the balls of the feet, spreading the toes as if your feet want to reach up to the sky. Keep your front throat soft. If you're tensing your front throat, it means you're pressing into the back of the skull. Bring the chin towards the chest, soften the front throat, and be in a shoulder stand rather than a skull and neck stand. Keep trying to keep the elbows firmly pressing down. The hands firmly pressing up into the back body. The legs charging up to the sky. They should be burning, the muscles wrapped around the leg bones. And now bending the knees, bringing the heels to the buttocks, the kneecaps to the sky. And then bringing the knees towards our faces. And then extending the legs, the feet coming onto the floor behind for halasana. Stretching the arms straight, interlocking our fingers together, re-stretching the arms straight, and rolling each shoulder back. You can see your thighs right in front of you. With the exhale, try to move the thighs towards the thigh bone, so the quadriceps aren't hanging down on you. They're ironing up to the bone. And reconnect with that even breath cycle. Taking the time to count the inhale, to count the exhale, to establish that evenness. Keep rolling those front shoulders back as the body opens, taking everything it offers. Now let's change the interlock of the fingers behind the back. So we're coming to the second side. Re-stretch the arms, re-roll each shoulder back. Connect with your breath again, the evenness of the breath. Push the front thighs up to the sky. The legs are firm. No collapsing down towards you. Front throat soft, the chin coming towards the throat. Front shoulders rolling back. And then release the interlock of the fingers. You can bend the knees. We're going to take the strap off. And then gently, with control, unrolling down to the ground. And immediately just moving ourselves backwards until our upper back is on the floor. Roll each shoulder back. Bring the feet in a little closer and rest the inner knees against each other. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Relax the face, relax the jaw, relax the abdomen. And then moving back even more till our lower backs are on the floor. Roll the shoulders back. Again, deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Become neutral. And then rolling over to the side, pushing ourselves back up. And we're going to move these blankets to the side and come down to one last little pose before we go into our probably much-awaited Viparita Karani with legs up against the wall. So for this last little cycle, we're going to need one strap, and we're going to come to Supta Padangusthasana. So first of all, let's make sure that we have a little loop. Okay, straightening the legs to Supta Padangusthasana. Heels firm, inner feet lined up, and with your hands move your buttocks towards the heels so that as much as possible the lower back is coming to the ground and the abdomen is moving towards the lower back. Now the legs are firm, even though they're lying down, they're gripping as if you were in a standing pose. Bend the right knee, put the little loop on the foot, stretch the leg and slide the hands down the strap. Supta Padangusthasana 1. Connecting with that even and smooth breath. And from the smoothness of that breath, diffuse it everywhere in the body, feeling, adjusting, releasing. And now we're going to come to Viparita Supta Padangusthasana, twisting Supta Padangusthasana. So the left hand holds the strap as close as possible to the foot, and then the rest of that strap is underneath the upper back, and this right arm is pulling the excess strap to the right. So the whole body is linked up. Keep this left thigh rolling in, the heel firm. We're coming down in increments, the leg towards us and across, little increments until our elbow can come to the ground. Now push out through both of those feet. And with an exhale, turn and twist to the right, away from that top leg. Even and smooth breath. Keep wrapping the muscles around the leg bones, pushing out through the feet. And then bringing the leg back up and exhale, releasing. Just move the strap from the back and connect with the integrity of Supta Padangusthasana to make sure you're really lying in the middle of the mat. And move your buttocks towards the heels again, connecting the lower back to the ground, drawing the belly button down. Firm legs gripping. Okay, now bend the left knee, take your strap and put the loop. Straighten the leg, finding Supta Padangusthasana 1. Keep rolling the right thigh here in, so the kneecap faces the sky and the heel is firm, and wrapping the muscles around both of your leg bones. Even and smooth breath. Preparing for Viparita Supta Padangusthasana. The right hand takes the strap as close as possible to the foot. The rest of the strap goes underneath our upper back so that the left arm can pull it. And we begin our descent, moving incrementally. So towards us and to the right. Towards us and to the right. Any excess strap can be pulled by that left hand. And coming down, oops, I'm going to have to move under there, we go, until our elbow supports us. The right heel firm on the ground, inhale, and exhale, turn and twist the trunk to the left, away from that top left leg. And count the length of the inhale and the exhale again. Establish that smoothness, despite any pain that you may be feeling as we open this part of the body. Each exhale, rolling the abdomen to the left. And then bringing the leg back up. strap aside. Bring both knees towards the chest. Line up your inner feet. Line up the inner knees precisely. Interlock the fingers. Roll each front shoulder back to Viparita Supta Padangusthasana. Giving our body this last experience of evenness. Softening the jaw, the face, all of the little muscles around the eyes. And now Eka Pada, so keep the right knee bent towards you and extend that left leg, roll it in. Grip the muscles around the legs, heel firm. Even and smooth breath. So we're playing with strength in some areas and softness in the others. Back to Supta Padangusthasana. And now bending the left knee in, Eka Pada Supta Padangusthasana on the other side. Roll that right thigh in, keep the heel pressing firmly, have absolute vitality in that right leg. And then playing with softness in the abdomen, softness in the front groin, softness in the face and the brain. And exhaling the leg back out to Supta Padangusthasana. And releasing. And it is finally time for Viparita Karani. So rolling over to the right side, pushing ourselves up. And we're taking a blanket for our hips. And we're coming into the wall. So this pose is a beautiful pose. It's a mini practice in itself. If there's ever a moment where you're feeling really tired, run down, possibly fighting something, come to Viparita Karani, hold it as long as you can. It's just incredible for the immune system. So we're coming in sideways. And remembering that this pose is not supposed to be a hamstring stretch. So if you're feeling your hamstrings, move away from the wall, because we want to be able to completely relax and receive the pose, as a pose where we do nothing. We are in a state of surrender. And in order to fully receive, there must be no pain, there must be no tension niggling away at us. So adjust to a place that's right for the vehicle that you're in. And then roll each shoulder back. Make sure that the sides of the neck feel even. And with a gentle exhale, close the eyelids and enter into Viparita Karani. No more effort here. Effortless. We're just allowing the body to completely liquefy. And we're opening ourselves up to the gift of this pose through softness. gently, just wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. And then bending the knees and having the feet slide down the wall. And we're just going to push ourselves backwards a little bit so that our lower backs are connecting to the earth again. And then pressing our palms together and ending with our loving kindness meditation. Loka samastaha sukhinho bhavantu. Om Shanti 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 Hi. And then when you feel ready, we're gently going to roll over onto the right hand side of the body, finding the fetal position. And then using our hands to gently push ourselves back up. Re-emerging. Just taking a final Vajrasana on our mat. Widening the sit bones, hand on heart. And ending with a burst of gratefulness. Just allowing our entire system to be flooded with the healingness of that. And then gently releasing, opening the eyelids, coming back into this space, this time, this nowness. Welcome back. Our practice is complete. Congratulations, we have started the next course, so make sure to practice this class a minimum of 3 times and a maximum of 7 times. The more you do it, the better. It just enters over and over again, instilling that particular ignition and intelligence that awakens ourselves. And I'll see you next Monday. Namaste. Take care. Look forward to practicing again together soon.